Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I hope that you're well. For this episode I have a collection of items from around my house that I thought might give you some tingles and triggers. So for the first item that I have a padlock and key. And while we're going through this video, let me know what you like and don't like. Everyone's tingle triggers are different. And so we want to find out what you like the most. Next up we have some golf balls. I love to play golf in the summertime. Next up, we have my finger strengthener. I like to use this when I'm in meetings online. I always find that my pinky finger isn't as strong as the others. It's been a while since I did rock climbing as a sport, so my grip strength has decreased a little bit. Next up, we have my glasses case. A fact about me is I am actually quite short-sighted, just in vision, but have been since I was a young boy. And so I've always had glasses accompany me through life. And here we have my glasses. I have my contact lenses in at the moment as well, so I can't actually see anything at the moment because I'm double corrected. Oof. Wow. Anyway, those are my spectacles. Next we have a favourite candle of mine. You may or may not have noticed me burning this in other videos that I have created. I really like the smell of this one, and it's called The Cottage. It has a little sticker underneath it. Makes little sticky sounds, as a sticker should. Enchanting. For our next item, how about a lighter? This is what I use to light my candle. I'm quite a fan of these sorts of scratchy sounds. Especially if it's in like a role play with like a dermatologist or a ear cleaning. I find that they send tingles through my entire body. I also just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to everyone who's been so supportive since I've started this channel. The encouraging comments and the constructive feedback have really pushed me forward and made me want to continue, and have also made me want to pursue learning about ASMR and how to deepen the craft as I continue to work on it. So thank you. Next up we have my favourite watch. It has a leather band and is one of those ones that winds up from your movement. This is a 1977 Yellowface Omega Speedmaster. The Yellowface Speedmaster with tachymeter was made for the Formula One superstar Michael Schumacher. I'm sure, like many others, when that Netflix show, Formula One Drive to Survive, came out, got you interested in the show and in the sport. It had me hooked from the first episode. Next up, I have my pocket knife. I got this pocket knife when I was in a fortified coastal town in France called Saint-Malo. One thing I really like about this knife is the clear craftsmanship that went into making it, and the little details that make it unique. So for our next item, we have Bleu de Chanel. This is a scent that I like to wear in the spring and summertime. I like it because it's light, fresh, kind of makes me think of the ocean. It's not too powerful. So good. Next up, we have a little spray bottle. sometimes I find with spray triggers, it can be either like a hit or a miss with me. I haven't figured out what the difference is. If you know for yourself, find you have the same thing, please leave a comment and let me know. There we go. Wow. So I know you can see it and hear it, but it's actually super refreshing. Having like a little cool mist. I can imagine on a hot day it would be a great thing just to give yourself a little spritz and let it evaporate off you. And speaking of summer, summer would not be complete without a pair of sunglasses. Now these are just an expensive pair that I bought for when I'm doing activities such as camping or when I'm playing sports outside. I'm a little notorious for losing sunglasses, so after losing a couple of expensive pairs, I've learnt my lesson. Next up, we have a candy wrapper. I don't usually like sweet things, as my palate is more attuned to savoury. But Haribo just brings me back to my childhood. Like when my father would bring me to the office and he would set me up on Microsoft Paint, and then for lunch we would go and get sandwiches and a packet of Haribo, and we'd sit out and we'd eat them together. Anyway, really sweet memory for me. So Haribo always has a special place in my heart. Next up we have a piece of leather. One of my hobbies is leathercraft. I'm still quite new to it. I've only been doing it for about 7 months, but I've really been enjoying it so far. This is just a little piece of scrap leather that I turned into a coaster. One thing I really like to do with leather is make little simple gifts that I can personalize and give to friends when it's their birthday, or if there's a holiday or honestly, if they just deserve a gift. I love my friends a lot, and I think that they deserve the world. Next up we have a pen. I really like to have always a few good pens on my desk, because I'll always take one away and forget to bring it back. Which is important, because if you're using a tool or stationery, you should always try and put it back where you found it, especially if it's not yours. And next we have the Lego Night Bus. I keep this on my desk as a reminder to, well, not to get too deep, but as a good mental exercise if I'm getting frustrated with myself or on a task. I like to think about what a younger version of myself would think of me and who I've become. And when I was little, I loved playing with Lego and would play with it for hours and hours after school and have it strewn all around the playroom. I had much tougher feet back then from stepping on fields of Lego. But if you're ever getting down on yourself or being overly critical, it's a nice exercise just to think about what a younger version of yourself would think of who you've become. Because I heard somewhere that the person you become is the person that you would feel safe around as a child. I thought that was really beautiful. Anyway, I digress. Next up we have my snorkel. So one of my favourite activities in the world is to be in the water and looking for different types of fish, crustaceans, plants. And if I don't feel like going for a full scuba dive, I'll go for a snorkel. Because to see most of the marine life, you really don't need to go more than like 15 feet down. And another interesting fact is that due to the water's refraction of light, the deeper you go down, the more colour spectrum you lose. So when you're in shallower waters, you get more vibrant and beautiful colours. I'm working on a couple of scuba diving videos at the moment for you to take you on some of the adventures that I most recently went on. I recently took a vacation to Egypt and was scuba diving in the Red Sea on a liveaboard cruise. And honestly, that was some of the best diving I have ever done in my entire life. And I would love to share it with you. So we're actually on the final item, and this was given to me as a present. You can see the resemblance, I'm pretty sure. Isn't that cool? Then you hold its eyes to decrease its brightness. Or you can do it to bring it back up again. Doesn't it look happy? I'll use this as a reading light when I want some really low light. One thing I really like to do is to fall asleep while I'm reading a book. So what I'll do is I'll take my glasses off, turn this little fellow on, and then I'll read with the book really close to my face so that I don't drop it too far on my head, so I can stay asleep. And then after a while, this just turns off on its own. I would also like to open it up to the comment section on what we should name this little fellow. And then we just pinch the eyes. Yeah, so that's all the triggers I have for you today. Please let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and if there are any specific ones that you would like to see. And again, I just want to say thank you so much for being so supportive and all the lovely things and all the suggestions that you have given me. It really makes a big difference, so thank you. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment and reach out. I love to chat with everyone. So, until next time, take care.